Chiratae started investing 15 years back as IDG, and we used to be and continue to be a very classic financially focused returns investor, where our investment thesis to back stellar companies who are solving business challenges which have not been solved before and can be solved using technology. Many examples. Tropin has 7.5 million acres of farmland under observation through satellite imagery, improving farm productivity, soil management, disease management, and a few others. Vina has lent to SMEs over $4.5 billion worth of working capital. Healthify Me is improving millions of Indian and global citizens in terms of fitness and in terms of nutrition. Hence, the usage of technology to solve challenges which have not been solved before continues to be our focus. We back these companies in the expectation that we will have some of these companies attain a dominant position and a highly scaled position, but the focus remains technology. Again, giving examples of technology, We Innovate is in the space, one of our portfolio companies of silver nanoparticle-based antibacterial catheters. India consumes 40 million catheters every year, and that's the big reason for spread of infections and diseases. Chemical is one of the few companies in the world, if not the only one, in generating color out of stress being applied to microbes, which are cultured through waste, soya, and other products. Again, color is chemical based, but we saw them not as impact related investment, but we saw them as financially returned investments, which will be useful to, to give returns to our investors. So effectively, we grow select companies to a dominant position in the Indian market space. And then some of these will also go global. Dominant position will be anywhere between 15 to 45% market share. And we do believe that technology has enabled them to grow faster than traditional companies. And many of our companies are now global because if a challenge is being solved in India, that challenge exists somewhere in the world. So effectively, if my memory serves me right, 50% of our active portfolio is now present in terms of their product or service sale across 40 countries. So the thesis of investing in various sectors and solving real problems has been working for us for a long, long time. However, in 2016, we met a number of DFIs and we learned about SDG, we learned about ESG. And I must say before that, we had not studied that effectively. We started to learn about from DFIs about the measurement of impact. And we also discovered that the measurement of impact is the other side of the coin of our investment thesis, which is companies solving real problems. That was an interesting realization centered around tech. And effectively, that's how we started measuring impact. How does a farmer income increase? How does, in a company like FirstCry, how do mothers, take care of their babies prenatal? What do babies need? What do prenatal mothers need? What do postnatal mothers need? So effectively, we realized that traditional companies by design were building assets with enormous impact in the market. And this was the stage when we started measuring, we also realized that this other side of the coin appeals to us, our team members, our entrepreneurs, as well as our LP. Just to give you an example, strategically, many of our traditional companies also started moving towards a different diversification. FirstCry has 20 million mothers coming on their website every month. It's a community. It's the largest community in India. 250 new mothers join this community every month. That has enabled FirstCry to go into healthcare for prenatal, postnatal mothers and babies. That's an interesting example of a traditional e-commerce company, which is the second largest in the world, to be diversifying where health becomes an interesting diversification from e-commerce. This led us to seriously thinking about measuring. Vidya will present our second annual report on measuring of impact today. And we strengthen this further by our compliance to ESG and SDG norms. We are not an impact fund, but we realized excellent interest in following on rounds from large PE investors in our portfolio in the last year when Corona was at its peak. And we also realized that need-based rather than demand-based companies were doing far, far better in the market space. Our journey began of a discovery of convergence of technology, early stage investing, venture, backing impactful companies who are solving real problems in business and society on a massive scale. And this is what we are talking about today. Very unique companies, massively global and scalable from India because India offers that scale. But in this conversion of technology, venture investing, making an impact, and outside returns. These four are the conversions where we now starting to operate. And again, we are finding that this traction is enormous. This traction in financial terms is enormous. This traction in follow-on rounds is enormous for us. And we are starting to build even bigger companies. And we're also finding that there are many, many investors in the global market space who are coming onto our Chiratae platform and become more interested, even though we are financial firm in terms of VC investing. What do we now aim to do? We are in the process now of reaching out to 100 million Indians in the next few years from 50 odd million. We're in the process of impacting 500,000 businesses in the country. Over 40% of the Indians are likely to be female. Our portfolio presence in terms of impact and sales is in 300 towns in the Indian market space in the next few years. Our companies, because they can't find in a country like India, many people who are skilled are adding incomes, upskilling, even if they're consumers, they're truckers, they're farmers, it doesn't matter. Our reach is now going to be over 150 million farmers in the next 3 to 4 years. Our solving of health for 1 billion Indians in a very high quality manner has started. Lending to over 100 billion to SMEs from 4 billion today. Solving grain storage issues related to grain losses by a company called Argos. This examples list goes on and on. All the while we deliver outstanding financial returns and hopefully the top decile as we move forward. India is one of the few countries as a contiguous large nation which provides an opportunity for us to merge technology, impact, early stage investing, and outstanding financial returns to our investors and build entrepreneurs who are now going to build scalable companies. Scalable companies for us definition would mean anywhere between 100 to 500 million revenue. And today, if I see all our companies put together, we are about 0.3% of Indian GDP right now. So I end this with possibly a direction for financial investors and a direction for impact investors to join in this journey, which we and other Indian firms will offer combination of technology, impact, early stage VC investing, and outsized financial returns. Thank you very much.